Right, Sunil Gavaskar joins us live from Dharamsala. Sunny bhai, let's start with Suresh Raina. Before this match, he had expressed his desire to bat higher up the order. Do you think this inning, or why just this inning, the way he's performed in this series, do you think it'll help him bargain for that position now?
Well, I'm actually surprised that he doesn't bat at number 3, because it does seem to bat at number 3 for India in the T20 tournaments, in the T20 format. So I would imagine that he should be batting at about 3 or 4 for India. But that hasn't quite happened, because India also look upon him to be the finisher. So when he comes into bat at 5 and along with the batsman at 6 and 7 and maybe one of the top order batsmen, he can finish off the innings as well. He's a very good finisher. So I think that's the reason why he's batting at that middle at number 5. But quite clearly, I think as a batsman, you want to bat higher up the order, because you get many more overs to bat, to settle down, to start slowly and then again catch up. So I guess batting higher up the order makes a world of a difference. Have a look at what it has done to Ian Bell. The 2 times England has won this series, he's the one who's got the big runs.
But would it be possible to push someone like a Virat Kohli, who's been your best ODI player, say in the last 12 months, batting at number 3 and push Raina there?
If his form is not good, yes. I think that's something that you need to look at. If the form's not good, rather than dropping the person, maybe having come down the order. But down the order, the pressure will be that much more, because down the order, he doesn't get the time to settle down. Down the order, he might come into bat in the 40th over, where he's got to start throwing his bat straight away, and if he gets out, it dents his confidence. So I think you've got to strike a little balance over there. I would think that maybe because Yuvraj has been, a bit of an iffy kind of situation with Yuvraj's form, maybe he comes into bat at number 4. That might be the way to go, and Yuvraj comes at 5.
Right, now talking about batting orders, now this was one problem that India went into the series with. They didn't know who their 2 best openers are. Now that the series is over, do you see a solution in sight? Who do you think personally are the 2 best openers for India in the ODI format?
Well, I think it's going to be a tricky one still, and I think with the one-day tournament that is going to come up, I think it gives an opportunity for Virendra Sehwag to make a claim for a comeback to the team. Because there's nobody like Virendra Sehwag at the top of the order. If he gets going, if he starts to hammer the ball around, and the other batsman at the other end can, build his innings carefully. He doesn't have to try and match what Viru does. Viru can always make up for the scoring rate. So yes, I think that there's always going to be the situation between Virendra Sehwag, between Ajinkya Rahane, Gambhir, and now Rohit Sharma. But sometimes it's also options, because it keeps everybody honest. Nobody takes this for granted.
All right, never rule out anyone. We are just showing you most wickets in the series right now. But let's quickly move on to the poll question that we're asking today in our program. And the question is, what's been the biggest positive for India in the series win versus England? We've got 4 options for you on your screens. You can see Suresh Raina's consistency, Ishant Sharma returning to form, Ravindra Jadeja's all-round skills, or India's improved fielding. These are the 4 options that we've given you. All you need to do is log on to ndtv.com and cast your vote. Sunny bhai, the same question I'm going to ask you. What do you think has been the biggest positive for India in this series win?
Well, I think the new ball attack. I think that's been the biggest positive. Because all the others, were pretty much there. The new ball was something which we struggled with. And yes, I think you've got to add Ishant coming back after the first one-day, the way he's come back in the last 4 one-days, the way he's bowled. But I think Shami Ahmed and Bhuvneshwar Kumar making the ball talk and beating England. Now, England plays seam bowling and swing bowling quite regularly, but even somebody like an Alistair Cook today was playing and missing. So I think that, to my mind, has been India's biggest game from this one-day series.
But there have been a few gains, like we mentioned, like you're talking about the 2 new ball bowlers. Do you think there is a case in point for any one of them to be tried in the test format too?
Absolutely, because if they can do that with the white ball, just imagine what they'll do with the red ball. That is what I was saying when Praveen Kumar was playing so much of limited overs cricket and getting the white ball to move. I said, pick him for the test matches. When they picked him for the test matches, look how well he performed. And I hope that he gets fit soon, because again, his kind of swing bowling will be very useful. At the highest level, either you've got express pace, which is bowling at about 145 kilometers plus consistently, 6 balls and over, or you've got to be able to bowl and get the ball to move in the air and off the surface, like Praveen does, Bhuvneshwar does, or Shami Ahmed is doing.
Right. Now, the Indian team actually has a big break, almost a month, which is, not seen very often in international cricket. But my question to you is, the next time the 5 selectors sit together and pick a team will be for a test series. Sometimes in India, we tend to mix one-day performances with test performances. Would you want the selectors to be wary of that? We may be doing well in 1 day, but in test we are struggling. Would you like to see some changes when they sit down to select the test team?
Yes, I think what you said is absolutely right. I think often we have picked teams for different formats based on form in the completely opposite format. We picked teams for tests depending on the T20 format or the 50 overs format. So I think, yes, the selectors have to keep that in mind. The Ranji Trophy will be just finishing. I think more importantly, the players, I believe, now just need to be given a bit of a rest. Total break for maybe about 10 days or even 2 weeks if possible. But then get them together for a long camp. And at that camp, I would suggest that, for the new ball bowlers, invite somebody like Kapil Dev, or even if Zahir is not in the mix as far as the playing squad is concerned, get Zahir to come to the camp and help the new ball bowlers to just sort of get used to bowling with the red ball. And for the batsmen also, it's so important to spend hours, out in the middle, playing against India's new ball bowlers, because that is what they're going to play against Australians. Australia's strength will be new ball bowling. So I think the first 8-10 days they should take a complete break from cricket. Don't even think about the game, but come back for about 8-10 days of real hard, solid practice.
All right, Wasim Jafar there. Most centuries now in Ranji Trophy, most runs now in Ranji Trophy. Sunny bhai, sometimes we tend to look at certain players as has-been. Do you think Wasim Jafar is one of them? He's consistently scoring runs, but he's not been looked at as someone who can be given the India cap once again to make a return into, say, the test format.
If we have others who are over 30, 32, then I think Wasim, with the consistency that he's shown, should come in the picture. But I know there is sometimes you just close the door on somebody while keep the door open for somebody else. And so that's what's going to happen with Wasim. Wasim can score hundreds in every single Ranji Trophy match that he plays. But we all know that he's not going to be picked for the India team.
But why? If I could ask you that, why would you say that it happens to certain players?
Because we are very quick to close the door on certain players. We sort of we label them, we give them some sort of an image, and just dump them, which is unfortunate. But it's because it's not as if we have got a whole bank of opening batsmen who are there and doing consistently well. We look what's happened in the one-day format. We've been struggling with our opening, but that's the way it has been for quite a while. And Wasim Jafar is just one more who now will just find himself dumped despite performing so well. And because he knows that he has got no real chance of the India team, for him to keep on delivering the way he is delivering in Ranji Trophy, that really speaks very highly of his commitment to Mumbai and his temperament.
India's #1 news app just got even better. Download NDTV's new app. Fully optimized for retina display. Full screen view. Faster response time. And Sudoku. NDTV's new iPad app. Download now.